here today to do a recent reads. I'm one day too late to do a Friday reads, so I thought I'd do a quick video talking about what I've recently read, am currently reading, and will read in March. How are you doing today? We had a big snowstorm last night, so I haven't had one book club meeting since the last time I did a recent reads video. I had to cancel last week because I was sick, and then this week had to cancel because of the snow for last night and for this morning. So I'm getting much better, so feeling better and looking forward to getting some good reading done in March. Recent reads. I read The Snow Child and Where the Crawdads Sings and Bitter Orange for my book club reads. And I have to say, my instincts were kind of right about The Snow Child. It just wasn't for me. It's hard to talk about books that I know a lot of people really liked. And I know a lot of people really like The Snow Child, and I know a lot of people really like Where the Crawdad Sings. But for me, those books they're just not in my sweet spot. It's whimsical, and you know, I'm just not a whimsical person. I don't really enjoy, I don't enjoy that mood. And that sounds really, sounds terrible, but it's not for me. There were some good things I liked about the story. I liked the relationship between the main character and the Snow Child, the wife. Now, I've forgotten all their names, I'm sorry. And then the other woman who lived in the town that came and kind of adopted her as a daughter and taught her the ways of living in Alaska. So the story is about a couple who has suffered a very big disappointment when they lost a child, and so they moved to Alaska to try and start a new life. And at first, the husband is very tied to gender roles and doesn't want the wife to help him do anything and help the farm succeed. Eventually, you know, those little kinks in their relationship get worked out when they build a snowman with girls' clothing on it, and then suddenly that girl shows up in their area. And she can't be domesticated, and she kind of shows them the way toward love. So there were some good things I liked about it. I thought the writing was good. I did like the how they talked about what it was like to live in Alaska and the limitations for being a farmer in Alaska and the natural world. So there were some great natural scenes, good writing, just too whimsical for me. I know Where the Crawdad Sings is much loved and people really enjoyed it. For me, I never was able to buy into the storyline, that the premise being that a girl is completely abandoned by her family. Her mother just leaves because she's been abused by the husband, and then the husband is an alcoholic, and he also just leaves this girl to live and thrive on her own, in which she does do, and she evades the townspeople and doesn't end up having to go to school, and then keeps growing, and the story goes from there into a kind of a murder mystery, though it's really not. I don't want to give too much away, but the only thing I'll really have to say about it is that the ending was completely, for me, not earned. It crams way too much information into a few pages, and was really mad at the ending. If you love the book, I mean, I get why you loved it. The writing about nature was fantastic, and the girls' connection to the animals and the plant life, and her own, you know, just like visceral, you know, woman versus nature, or woman in nature versus society storyline was good. So I do see why people liked it. I just didn't like it. I gave it 3 stars. I also gave The Snow Child 3 stars. 3 stars for me means it was okay. I read to the end. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the book to anyone else, and I'm ready to move on to the next read. I also read The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, which is the second in the Cormoran Strike series. Cormoran Strike series. I love that character. That book, it hits all the notes for me in terms of a very easy to read a fast-paced detective story, and I like Robin the sidekick. Will she be a love interest? We don't know yet. And I just like Cormoran Strike as a character. So I enjoy that. I'm going to keep going on with that series. I read Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller, which is to me a hybrid between a Rebecca de Maurier and maybe some Sarah Waters. And there's got to be some other people in there, but it's kind of a gothic story about people converging on this abandoned, it's like in a mansion. The main character is brought there ostensibly to record the architectural features of the home, to see what the home is worth, and talking about, you know, if things are authentic, if this owner in America, you know, has anything of value in this home. And then there's another couple who are not married who show up, and this main character insinuates herself into their lives, and they insinuate themselves into her life, and she is kind of seduced by the idea of this couple, and it goes from there. The writing was really good. It did not feel like it was set in 1969, and that didn't feel right to me, and I don't know if that was on purpose, to set it in that time period and then have nothing from 1969 infiltrate the town or the house. So all in all, I gave it 4 stars. I didn't love everything about it, but I thought it was a pretty good story. I am currently reading in a buddy read with Sean, Doris, Karen, Alba, and Justin. We are reading The Known World. You might have heard other people doing little updates about this reading experience. We are 63% in after chapter 7, and we are having such a great discussion. There is so much to mine in these pages, so many characters, so many themes, so much heartbreak. It's a very heartbreaking book, but the writing is, I mean, it just kind of casts a spell on me. I am enjoying it. I don't know why I waited so long to read it, but as I told them, I'm glad I waited so long because now we can all experience it together. So having a great discussion about that. I'm also reading One Good Turn by Kate Atkinson. That's the number 2 in the Jackson Brodie series of mysteries. I'm having a hard time connecting with it, but I just want to keep going and get through this book because I think it gets better for the next books. And I know she has the 5th book coming out in the series sometime this year. So I want to get through all of the books in the series so I can read the new one. As always, I am in love with Kate Atkinson's writing. She can create a character and a scenario that feels so true to me, and so I'll just probably read anything she ever writes. I just started All the Lives We Ever Lived. I'll put a little description down below what it is. It's a memoir about reading Virginia Woolf, and it's a lot like My Life in Middlemarch by, who wrote that? Rebecca Mead, wherein, you know, she has an affinity and a love for a certain text, and then also brings her own life into that reading. So I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm barely into it. Books that are coming up to be read. We've decided to read State of Wonder by Ann Patchett for one of my book clubs. So we'll be reading that. Another book club pick that was actually my pick is 9 Coaches Waiting by Mary Stewart. I thought this particular book club would really enjoy Mary Stewart, and I know that Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures said that this is the best Mary Stewart, so I figure if they're going to only read one, we might as well read the best one. And I would like to pick up The Brutal Telling by Louise Penny, which is the 5th in the Armand Gamache series. I know it's March Mystery Madness, so I'd like to get 1 or 2 mysteries in March, and so I'm going to try and fit that one in. And also, it's March of the Mammoth, so there's a lot happening in BookTube in March, and I want to read, or at least attempt to read, an 800-page book in with the other books that I have selected to read for book club. So I have not yet decided if I'm going to try to read The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton, or do a reread of Middlemarch. I think it just depends on what my mood is starting on the 1st of March. So that's to be determined. And I think that's it for now. That's what's happening in my little corner of the reading world. I've been watching a lot of BookTube, enjoying every video. So thank you for all of the content people and for all the comments in all of the videos I watch. There's so much great interaction going on in the comment section that makes the whole thing kind of worthwhile. So I'm signing out now. I have a big sidewalk I need to get shoveled, and I will see you all later. Bye.